They have a lot of creativity in what they do. They run the quarterback a lot of different ways. He's very active in the pass game as well as a scrambler and as a moving pocket guy, a lot of boots and sprint outs and those kinds of things. He's got a lot of athleticism on the perimeter. I mean, they have a very good foundation of what they do, and they do it well. So they're and they've got playmakers too. At the tailback spot, at the receiver spot, and it's another game, and we're gonna have to execute and play well.
Is Jason being their quarterback just as dangerous when you do a good job covering when he takes off?
I think so. I mean, because it seems that he has tremendous speed. He does keep his eyes down the field as he scrambles, and that's always a concern of somebody, coming out of coverage or somebody, busting his own. It's something that we've worked on a lot the last few weeks is trying to get better in the scramble situations, and we've got to do a better job with our rush lanes too. Even compared to last week, where there was times where our rush lanes opened up against a really good scrambling guy, we've got to get that fixed.
Obviously, Felix has been special, but with the attention that's probably going to be paid to him now, does that allow him to be more creative?
He's just getting a lot more confident in what he does. He's always been had the same ability to do what he's done and what he did last week. I just feel like now he's kind of expecting it more, and so I don't know if it does anything for us. We feel comfortable. We've felt comfortable rushing three since week one. We've done that a number of times, and so we've done some more things where we're bringing four to try to get him some more one-on-ones, and that's paid off in the last couple of weeks.
How hard is it to balance when he's on, keeping him on the field, and also keeping him fresh?
I don't think he's as effective when he is playing all the time. I get what you're saying, and I think we have to keep him fresh, because I think if he gets 40 excellent snaps, that's better than 55 blasé snaps. And, I think we learned that lesson throughout the year. And as we get healthier and healthier with Bronson Massey coming back and, more guys, Tyrone Tellini, Cortez, Crook Jones getting in the rotation, I think that allows us to do that maybe more than we could have done a month ago.
What did the back end do best in coverage last week?
I was happy with how we competed in man technique last week. I was happy with the depth that we were getting in some of our zone drops. I think, again, as we just get more and more comfortable in the things that we do, it's an experience thing. I mean, it's a repetition thing, and nobody understands it on paper anymore. People need to do it. They need to see it. They need to learn it for themselves, tangible learning. And that's where we're getting more and more bank reps, and we're getting better and better each week.
How much a guy like Reggie Stubblefield built to apply pressure from that second level?
He's been outstanding. He's been kind of an unsung guy because he gives us a dynamic playmaker on one half of the field, and we've if you look back, even what we were at North Dakota State in those years, we had players in those positions that could really flash, and even when TCU put him into the box a lot formationally, he was still able to make some plays and flash. And I just think his how hard he plays makes him go. And he has a great understanding. He's a really smart football player. He's physical. He's been fantastic. Even though he might not just be all over the stat sheet, the things that he's doing for us when we need him to do it has helped us be much better.
And how much of a quarterback has Russ Yeast been for you in the secondary?
Same kind of thing. I mean, when you put Russ Yeast together with Jerron McPherson, Reggie Stubblefield, Ross Elder's been, another just quiet, steady Eddie kind of a guy. Those guys are feeding well off of each other right now, and limiting. It's no. When we limit our mistakes, we limit explosive plays. Even when you go back to Texas Tech, the explosive plays we gave up weren't because Texas Tech was better than us. It was because we made mistakes. And when we can limit those mistakes because we have those mature guys back there, we're going to have success.
What most impressed you about Felix last week as that was going on?
What most impressed me about Felix is some of those sacks weren't just some of them were not him just flat out just whooping a guy. Some of them were high effort, high intensity sacks, coming off an edge, getting to the level of the quarterback, countering, running into a tailback, staying alive, and then making a play. That's outstanding. I mean, those are We preach effort, 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 and when it's great to see a guy get rewarded for those kinds of effort plays.
Jalen Pickles played a lot of defensive end, if not primarily defensive end, the last few weeks. Just how has that transition gone for him?
That's a necessary thing probably because of our depth at nose. When you have a guy like Eli Huggins who's playing at a high level, you have a guy like Tim Horn, you have a guy like D. Hintz, Jalen Pickle becomes kind of a fourth guy in there, and he's the one out of the four that has the athleticism to do that on the outside. I know we've used all those guys at some point in time on the outside, but he's been the one that's kind of been more natural out there. And for a big guy, tremendously athletic and long, we can do different things with him in terms of moving him inside if we need to a 3 technique. And so I think the transition's been really well. He spends most of his reps out there in practice throughout the course of even going back to the spring. He repped out there quite a bit. So he's been smooth, seamless out there.
What was the defensive mindset when you did get backed up into some goal line situations last week and you helped?
One of our points of emphasis is red zone touchdown percentage, and that's something that we talk about every Friday. We talk about it every Monday, and it hasn't been great. It was something. Our mindset always in the red zone is field goals won't beat you. You can give up a play and give up a drive if you can get them stopped in the red zone and hold them to field goals. They could have 9 great drives and score 27 points, which isn't an awful day. Even though it would be an awful day, and the mindset of those guys is we got to get this turned around. We've given up far too many touchdowns down there. We've got to, and then it got them to 4th down, and they decided to go and just executing the next call.